Hi, thanks for joining today. We're going to make an off the mat project and we're going to do Rainbow Dash. This is, I would say this is medium to hard, but I wanted to give you a variety so that you can see the different projects. So let's go to new project and we're going to upload the image. I had already uploaded the image before. So if you've uploaded a lot of images, you can go here to view all and scroll down so you can see I've been kind of busy with all these projects. But here we go. Here's Rainbow Dash. Or you could be really good as you upload each image that you name it properly so you can search for it. But okay, so this one's highlighted. Let's go to Insert Images. And let's go to Height and make this 30 inches. And if you've watched my other videos, then you know that I think 30 inches is a good size for party decor. It's usually it's little kids, right? So 30 inches, obviously they're taller than that, but these are gonna look pretty big in comparison to the cake and to the kids around them. Like it's gonna really pop. So excuse me. All right, so it's 30 inches high, so you can kind of see here. Let's reduce this image down, our screen down to 25% so that we can see everything without having to scroll up and down. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to ungroup this so that we can remove all the layers. Whenever I do an off the mat project, I always work with my background layer first because that's the one that we're going to be slicing quite a bit. It's in this case, it's not black, right? They used a a blue to do the outline. So we're going to work on that first because everything else usually you're not slicing as much because, for instance, this yellow piece, it's a small piece, so it's probably going to fit on our 12 by 12 cardstock. So, okay, so it's ungrouped. Let's start moving things out. So this is all the pretty hair. I'm going to just move it over. Here's the eye. Here's the blue feather. I love it. Here's the blue body. And then let's move this little tattoo. Okay, so now we have this image. What you want to do then is obviously we can't send this to our machine to cut, right? It's 24 inches by 30 inches. So we're going to have to slice this into pieces that either you have the cardstock for it. You may have 12 by 24 cardstock and that will make it a lot easier for us to cut this image. But I'm going to assume that most people have 12 by 12 cardstock in their supplies. So let's insert our square, and I'm going to make this square 11 by 11. So I'm going to go into the size, and I'm just going to type in 11. I can tab it. This is in lock, so with the square, if you put, the width, the length is going to obviously be 11. Now you may ask, why didn't I go to 11.5? Because that's how much we can technically cut. We are trying, it's just easier to not deal with the 1/2 inch. And you'll see in a second why, because we're basically going to have to cover this whole pony with these squares so that we can slice away at it. And the squares need to be flushed so that we don't have any gaps. So by using 11 by 11, it's easier to do the math. And I end up using the position over here. And this is one of the only times that I really use the position is for off the mat projects. If you use it for anything else, please let me know because I'm really curious as to when else it would be helpful. Okay, so this is my first square. I'm going to go to just, I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to move it over here. Excuse me. All right, so this first square, I'm going to position everything into whole numbers. So right now, when I click on this, it says I'm at 3.167 for my x coordinate, my y coordinate is 4.111. So let's just make this 3 and 4. So I'm right on a whole number. That means that this one then, I need to change this to 14 and to 4 because it's 11 inches, and if this one started at 3, then 3 plus 11 is 14, and this is where it needs to be. Okay, so now that we've positioned the two squares and they're flushed, I will just select both of them, and I'm going to duplicate two of them at the same time because that means they're already flushed. I only need to put it into position. So I'm going to move it down here. And the nice thing about the position is if you get it within, within the right area, then you don't really even need to do math. You can just go up here. The position for this is already at 3.056. I know it's supposed to be at 3. And this one's at 15.1 something, and it's supposed to be at 15. You can always double check it later, but I'm pretty confident that that is right. So let's duplicate the next set. It's already highlighted. All right, and let's move this down here. And again, I'm going to go up here. My position is going to be 326. Now I know we still have this tail, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick check. I'm going to highlight the blue image. And you can tell over here that that's the image that is being worked on. And it also has this yellow like warning sign, right? It's basically saying it's too big. There's no way that the machine's going to cut it. And that's going to be the same with these two items over here too. So we'll definitely check on those after. But I'm going to bring this blue pony to the front. So I'm going to go to Arrange and I'm going to send it to the front because I want to see if I move this around, can I make this work? And it doesn't look like I can. I'm going to need another set of squares over here because this tail, I can't get it in. And here you're like, well, why wouldn't you just reduce the image? Well, if I reduce this, I got to reduce all of these also by the same proportion. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to do 30 inches. Let's duplicate two more squares, okay? So let's highlight, let's send this to the back again. So send to back. I'm going to highlight these two squares and I'm going to duplicate that and I'm going to move it over here and position to 25 and 15 so I know it's flushed. Now, I can't get to my blue pony, but I can get to it over here. So if you scroll down, you can find that image and you can highlight it and then let's go to Arrange and send it to the front. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is if I kept the image the way it is right now, you can see if I were to slice this piece, I would have just this little bit of the tail. I really want, when I'm piecing these things together, to have big pieces so that you just don't have like a small piece hanging out there. I find that it's just easier to tape up things when they're bigger pieces. So you definitely don't want that. And then if you see this little piece of the tail, my goodness. One, it's such a small cut, and two, you might lose it, and then you have to tape it to this bigger image. So let's move this up. Oops. Go to Undo. And it looks like I had too many pieces highlighted, right? Okay, here we go. So let's look at this to see what would make sense. Now this would make sense a little bit for the tail because the tail is primarily on this square and this square up here. But when I go, then I see this little hoof over here that's going to be tiny. So this image is a little bit difficult to work with, like to make sure that you have good cuts. So I'm going to move this up. I kind of feel like this is a good one right here, which means we didn't even need this square. So this square is one whole piece. This middle one, all the pieces are connected. This one also, I like it. So this one's a really good image. Now, I'm going to send this to the back. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because earlier when I was looking at this, I know that this piece is too big and this piece is too big. And I don't want to put all my squares together again. So let's go over here. Let's bring this blue pony to the back again. That way I have my squares up here so I can play with. I'm just going to highlight all my squares and I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to move it down here. Oh, I didn't even highlight all of it, but that's okay. That's better than nothing. Okay, so let's go back and let's highlight my pony. Let's bring it to the front. Okay, we like this, right? We don't need this square. I'm just going to move this square down here so that we can use it for later to slice something else. Okay, so if you remember when you're slicing, you can only slice 2 images at one time. So that means the square is going to be one image and my whole pony is going to be another image. And let's, oops, I think I highlighted one too many items. Okay, let's see. All right, and here's slice. It's available. It's not grayed out. I'm going to slice it. So this is my first piece of my background. Okay, and I'm going to move it down here. All right, let's slice this image over here, this square. So see, I'm only highlighting enough to touch 2 items. And when I let go of my cursor, the 2 images are selected, and I know because slice is available. If I had selected more than 2 images, I would not be able to slice. All right, so let's slice that. And sometimes this happens when you're slicing. I feel like it's just a glitch. Go ahead and undo it. We'll slice something else and come back to it, okay? So let's slice this bottom area. All right, so that worked. Let's pull that image down here. The reason why I'm doing this, and if you've watched my other videos, I suck at putting together puzzle pieces. And also when you take things off the mat, sometimes I forget and I flip it over. And then now not only am I trying to piece together the puzzle, but they're not even all facing the right side up. So, all right, let's try this piece again and see if it's gonna work this time. Okay, we're gonna slice that top portion, and this time it worked. I don't know why it does that, but that's just my little workaround, is to undo and slice something else. All right, so let's slice part of this tail. Good, that's working. I'm gonna, oh no, this piece right here, it's gonna be hanging by itself. I don't want to change anything right now, but that was definitely an error on my part. That means that we're going to have to tape or glue this little piece later. And I should have seen that, but it was kind of hard to see right there. Darn it. But that's okay. It's just one piece. But that's something to look for the next time that you design something and you go to cut it off the map. Okay, so let's do these 2 pieces. I'm going to slice that. And that's my bottom. Okay, and I think these 2 pieces, oh no, they're not. Okay, so let me undo that. And let's slice this last portion of the tail. Okay, let's move this down. And then now we have this one. Okay. So you can just move it here. So now you see all your pieces. Okay, so that's our background. So all of our slicing results you can just delete. Okay, let's look at this eye. This eye is grouped together, and I know that because my option is to ungroup it. So let's just ungroup it and see what we have. We have a black layer, a maroon layer, and a white layer. Let's do that with this. And the only reason why I'm doing it is I just want to see like all my different colors together. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, we know this image is too big to cut right now. We have 2 images that are left that are, oh no, 3 images. There's part of the tail. See that little warning sign? So we have the tail, this blue, and this light blue that we need to deal with. All right, so first thing is, we can't just ungroup this. That's not available. So we're going to either need to use contour so that we can break these pieces up, or we can use slice. So since we've already sliced out the big background, let's just use contour so I can show you how to use that, which I've had my Cricut for 2 years now, and I just started using contour this past summer. So it's a nifty little tool. So basically I want to separate this blue layer into 4 pieces. And I want to do that for a couple of reasons. One is when I go to send it to the cards to make it, on my cardstock, I could probably, you know, move these images and to save a little bit of my glitter cardstock. Um, Glitter cardstock really makes the off the mat projects pop. So I highly recommend doing the different colors in glitter. The background layer I would just do in black, or in this case we need, you know, that blue, but I would do it in black or gray. And then the other colors I would do in glitter. And if that's still too much, then maybe, you know, I would be selective. Like in this image, if I really wanted to save, maybe I would only do the bright colors in glitter and the rest in regular cardstock, but that's totally up to you. Okay, so with contouring, you have right here, we have 4 pieces, right? So when you contour, you're gonna, if you have 4 pieces, you need 4 images of this. So I'm gonna go to duplicate or duplicate, and I'm gonna do it a couple times. So I already have the one. Here's my second one, third, and fourth. Okay, and my fourth one is highlighted right now. I'm gonna go to contour. And because it's only 4 pieces, I like to use this over here, hide all contours. And it's saying, okay, let's keep this one. These are hidden. So when I click on the X, all I have left is my tail, which is awesome. Let's click on the next one. Let's go to contour, hide all contours again. I already have this one. So let's say I want this one. So now I have to go and gray this one out so that only this piece is left. And you can see that over here. I'll make it so you can see the whole thing. So you can see this is what's left of this image. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Contour. I'm going to hide all contours again. And I'm going to select this one. And I try to do it in order so that I don't mess up. You need to click on this one to hide it. So this is all that's left. And there's that little piece. All right, and then my last one, contour, hide all contours. I'm going to select, this is the one that I want. I'm going to hide these two. Oh, I did it the opposite. And you can always double check because you can see it over here. And because these two images are so similar, you do want to do it in order or some way that you can keep track of. All right, so now my blue pieces are all good. But I think this piece is still too long. It is. It's 10 inches across, which is fine, but it's 15 inches long. Now, it would be okay if you have a 12 by 24 piece of cardstock. I don't have that in glitter, so I'm going to slice this in half. On this one, I don't really think that there's a good way of slicing it. Either we could slice it this way, or we could slice it the long way. I would probably slice it in half just so that it would be 2 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock. If I did it this way, I would not have helped myself because it would still be 15 inches long. So, okay, let's do the square. So let's insert a square, make this bigger so that it will fit. All right, and I'm going to bring this one to the front just so that we could see it better. You know, I don't want to cut it here, for instance, and then I just don't want any hanging pieces. So this looks like a good place to cut it, or you could be fancy and you can cut it at an angle, but you know, let's just cut it straight across. All right, highlight the 2 items and slice it. All right, so those are my 2 pieces of the hair. The results, I can delete the whole thing. All right, so I think our blue layer is all good now. Let's look at this layer. This one is, if you look really closely, this leg is by itself. This piece is by itself. The head is by itself. So I think the only piece that we might have to slice is this big body piece. So, all right, let's get going. How about we contour? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So let's go to duplicate and do 5. We already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's contour. All right, so let's do it by this image over here. Let's keep the head. So let's hide everything else. So we have the head. All right, so the head is basically 11 inches by 8 by 9. So this will fit. So we're good there. Let's do the next piece. So we already have the head, so we don't want the head this time. Let's keep the neck. Oops. So that means we need to highlight everything else. And that includes this little nose and this little ear. All right. So we have the neck. Let's keep going. Contour. We're just moving down this piece. Down and left to right. Let's keep this piece. So we want it not grayed out. And let's gray out everything else. Just selecting on it. Okay. All right, so there's our little piece. Let's contour the next. Oops, it's still highlighted on that one. So yes, that's the one we kept. Let's go over here. Let's contour this one. And let's hide all contours and see what we have here. Oh, and it left us the body, which is what we wanted. Perfect. And yeah, this one is 13 by 19, so we're going to have to do something extra with that one. All right, so the only thing left is this little leg right here. So let's contour. Let's hide all contours, but let's scroll down. Where is it? There it is. It's this leg right here. Let's gray this one out. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. There we go. All right, there's my little leg. Okay, so this piece, we need to slice it in both directions, right? Because this is 13, so it's not going to fit. And then it's also too long. So it's too wide and too long. So we can, let me think about it. We might need to slice this in 3 pieces. You want to slice it in areas that will make sense. Like I don't want to really cut up this wing, but I think we can cut down this leg right here and then cut another portion right here. So let's, oh, and I forgot to use my squares. Okay, so let me undo that. Let's just move our square down here. Move our little horse down here. And let's see if we can use this at all. And we can. Perfect. So we can use these 3 squares right here. So let's slice this first one. And you can see it's all one. Oh, it's not all one piece. This little one's dangling out there. Okay, so let me undo it. Let's undo it again. So it's one whole image again first before we, okay, and I'm going to move this over just a little bit. There we go. So now it's much better. Okay, now let's slice it. And yes, now it's one piece. Okay, let's slice this one. That means everything is on this piece is together, which I love, and then this last piece. All right, so let's get rid of these 2, just in case we need to use this again. All right, so over here, I think we're all good except for the tail. One of these pieces, oh, it's because it's all grouped together. Let's ungroup it because it's available. And let's see how they grouped this. They grouped it by color. So we're not going to want to send that to the mat, right? That's a huge waste of paper. And in this case, we can't even do it, right? Because it's 14 by 27. So here, this one's easy. Let's duplicate and let's contour. Let's do that. So we have the bottom piece. Let's do this, contour. We want the top piece there. And this is now 8 by 4. This is basically 3 by 10. So we're good there. All right, orange layer. Let's do this. Again, let's slice it the other way so you can see it too, right? We can take one of these squares, move it up here, and let's slice this. And now I have this piece, and I have this piece separate. Oh, but this one's still big. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to undo it. I'm not going to slice, I'm going to contour. Oh, and I already sliced it. try to show you something new and then I go and I bite myself in the butt. Okay, here we go. So this is my image now. Let's just duplicate. Let's go to contour. I was trying to be fancy and show you a couple of things. All right, so we have this. Let's save this nice little tail at the bottom. Oops, that's the one I want. I want this one, not this one. There we go. And this one is just slightly too big. It's 4 inches across and 12.5 lengthwise. So let's use this now. Let's just cut it in half. We'll slice it in half. And so we'll just know that that tail is in 2 pieces. Okay. Let's see what's next. Next is yellow. All right, we're going to have to do the same thing. Let's duplicate, contour. I think I'm going to change this one to a hard project. All right, here's the long piece. And now we need the short piece up here. And it's just, I would say it's complicated only because it had so many pieces and so much slicing and contouring. So this piece fits. Oh my goodness, this piece is 13 inches long. So let's get the next square over and slice it. Okay. All right, so now it's in 2 pieces that are cuttable. Let's get rid of that. Okay, what's left? We have our purple. So let's duplicate, contour. You're going to be a pro by the end of this. All right, so we have this piece. We need this long, pretty piece, contour. Let's gray that one out. So oops, no, I did the opposite. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. Confusing myself. All right, this is 7 by 10. We're good. All right, next one is our blue piece. Let's duplicate, contour. Let's save that piece on top. Now let's look at the tail. I have a feeling the tail is going to be too long, but we will know in a second. Yep, the tail is 13 inches. So let's just move this down, use this little square here. Okay, we have our 2 pieces. Get rid of our results. All right, what else do we have? We have our last piece, right? Yes. This green. So it's 3. So 2, 3. So I have 3 versions of it. Let's contour. Let's save. Okay, I'm not following my own advice. Let's save this one. Left to right. There we go. Our left piece is there. Let's do our right piece now. Let's gray out the other pieces. There's my right piece. And the last one, I want my nice little tail. So let's gray out these 2 things, my tail. And of course, my tail is too long. All right, so let's slice it. Okay. See, so it's not bad once you get going. It's just, a lot of steps. Okay, so now I think we have everything. Let's get rid of all the things we don't want to cut. Alrighty, let's save it. You probably should be saving throughout because you don't want it to crash and have to start all over. Rainbow Dash 30 inches. And I put 30 inches because I plan on making different sizes. So I just want to be able to find my projects. All right, save. Let's go to make it. Now, this next portion won't take us as long, but I still want to save, because we use the glitter cardstock. I want to save as much as I can. Oh my goodness, which one is too long? Did I miss something? Which image is it? It didn't tell me which one. It's telling me one of our images is too long. So let's cancel. Let's go back. to here and see which one is too long. I thought we cut everything already. Okay, I'm looking at everything. Okay, let's go to make it. The other way we can look at this, let's see. Normally, I feel like it would tell me, it would just pop up. Oh, there it is. This 12 by 24. Oh, I see. And you know what? It's not that it's too big, but I didn't slice it properly. It thinks that there's, you know, this piece right here. So let's go to cancel. Let's go find this image, this piece. And that piece, I think, is this. Oh, yeah. So you could see it's not 19 inches long, but it's showing that it's 19 inches long for some reason. So let's just, I can't contour it. Let's reslice this one and get rid of the bottom. So where's my square? My square is up here. I'm going to move it down. Okay. And I'm going to make this right there on the line so that I can move this on the line. And now I'm going to slice it. Yeah, for whatever reason, this little thing is annoying. Let's delete that. Okay, so now when we go to make it, everything should fit fine. We shouldn't have any issues. Okay, perfect. All right, this white layer is fine. This black layer is fine. It's just the one eye. Here's this one. This one I would probably move. I would probably make it like this. I think that's about all I can do. So, I mean, it's better, you know, it's easier to use leftover cardstock when you have half the sheet left on this side. Let's see if we can do something better with this one. I might, and sometimes it takes a little bit of playing around with it to get it. But you see, I'm just kind of maneuvering things and seeing where it best fits. Maybe this curves down better. I don't know. It's still better than it was. I don't really like that. I feel like that's going to be harder for me to deal with later with my excess cardstock. There we go. So again, I did it. It's like Tetris. Now I still have, you know, the rest of the 5 inches on this side and all of the 12 of my orange glitter cardstock if I choose to do that. All right, my yellow is good. These two yellows are the same. I'm going to move this one over to this one. There's no reason for this one to cut by itself. So I'm going to click on the 3 blue dots up here, move to another mat, and I'm going to select my other yellow mat. Okay, so now it's over here. I could probably move it like that. Maybe move this down here like this. Move this one up here. And let's see if I made it easier for myself. Yeah, you know, so it takes up this little spot right here. What is that, 6 by 10? So I still have the rest left. All right, let's look at my green one. Same thing with my green one. This one's hanging out by itself. Let's move this to the other mat. Okay. See, we're cutting quite a bit if you saw that, all our options. Okay, I'm going to move this over. You know, I can move this up there. Okay, so that's all good. This is by itself. Let's see what we can do here. This is good. Feel like I could save a little bit more. Let's go over here. Let's move this up here. I'm gonna move, oh, that won't let me move that anymore. Okay. Let's move this little leg over. And where are my options? I'm going to move it to this one. Let's move it like this. Okay. And then that way, this piece is only now, I still have a lot of usable cardstock over here. I know I'm repeating myself, but I make so many of these, and the glitter cardstock is so pretty, but so expensive. All right, so let's group this one together. Let's move this to the other mat. And let's make this more usable. All right. Okay. All right, so here we have this one. That's pretty much the whole page. The whole thing. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. This one. Okay. I feel like we can consolidate at least one item here. Let's move this one. Move to another mat. And not only am I saving cardstock, but you know, you gotta load the mat and send it through the machine. So, oh, maybe this one's not gonna work. Darn. Can I do anything else? I don't think there's any other image. All right, I'm moving it back to the original map. Where are you? There you go. Back to your place from before, but let's make it nice and neat. So I still have usable cardstock next time I get to it. All right, let's look at this dark blue and see if there's anything. I feel like we could do something. Let's move these wings over. Let's move this one, move to another one. Fingers crossed that it works this time. I'm going to move it to this one. Let's see if that works. Yes. Here we go. All right, let's move this wing to the other one. This one. Excuse me. All right. So we're good with the blues. Sorry. Whew, my throat is so dry. All right. Excuse me. Okay, I think we're good. So 40 minutes later, we are done and ready to cut. All right, thanks for joining. I'll show you the picture of it all done. And I think I have a sped up video of me piecing it together. So all of that will be on the channel, and thanks for joining. All right, see you next time.